Bohemia is a region within the Czech Republic. It is a major part of Czech history. Bohemia was named after the Boii, a Celtic tribe that originally inhabited Bohemia. It meant home of the Boii. Around 100 BC, the area was settled by Germanic tribes such as the Marcomanni. They moved southwest as Slavic tribes moved into the region around 600 AD. These Slavs are precursors of today's Czechs. Bohemia was controlled by Samos' confederation from 630 to 660. Then Bohemia became a part of the early Slavic state of Great Moravia in the late 9th century. In 862, the Saints Cyril and Methodius introduced Christianity into Bohemia from Moravia as part of their mission to convert the Slavs to Christianity. The Premyslid dynasty was consolidating power politically in Bohemia in the 10th century. The Premyslids ruled Bohemia as a duchy. According to legend, the Premyslid dynasty was founded by a plowman named Premisl, who was married to Princess Labus, founder of Prague, but the first recorded prince was Borivaj I. In 1198, Bohemia was raised to the status of a hereditary kingdom within the Holy Roman Empire by Ottokar I. Under Ottokar I's grandson, Ottokar II, Bohemia reached a new peak of political power and economic prosperity. Ottokar II consolidated control over parts of Austria and waged wars for territory with Hungary, thus creating an empire that extended to the Adriatic Sea. Unfortunately, Ottokar II died in battle in 1278 and was succeeded by his son Wenceslaus II. The Premyslid dynasty came to an end with the death of Wenceslaus III, who was assassinated on his way to Poland in 1306. The Bohemian throne was passed to John of Luxembourg, the founder of the Bohemian branch of the Luxembourg dynasty. In 1346, Charles IV was crowned as King of Bohemia and became Holy Roman Emperor in 1355. Charles founded the University of Prague in 1348 and greatly increased the boundaries and importance of Prague, which he made the capital of the Holy Roman Empire. Prague became the principal center of intellectual and artistic activity in Central Europe. In the 15th century, Bohemia experienced religious disputes between the Roman Catholic Church and followers of the Bohemian religious reformer Jan Hus. Jan Hus was sentenced to be burnt at the stake as a heretic. He was invited to attend the council to defend himself and the Czech positions in the religious court, but instead he was executed on July 6, 1415. His execution, as well as the persecution of John Wycliffe, outraged the Czechs, and their rebellion became known as the Whosite Wars. The Whosite Wars sent people flocking to Prague, plundering monasteries, and destroyed symbols of what they considered as the corrupt Catholic Church. The Whosite movement was divided into various groups of moderates and radicals. The moderates in support of the Catholic Church were called the Utraquists and consisted of the lesser nobility. The radical division was the Taborites, named after their religious center and stronghold at Tabor, which was founded by Jan Žižka. Žižka took part in minor conflicts among nobles. He helped defeat Prussia's Teutonic Knights at the Battle of Grunwald in 1410. He served at the king's court at the time when Hus preached in Prague. When the wars began, Jan Žižka was approaching 60 and was blind in one eye. He led Taborite troops in their victory against Sigismund and the Crusaders. Žižka's armies spread over the countryside, storming monasteries and defeating the Crusaders, even though by 1421 he became completely blind. Žižka devised weapons such as iron-tipped flails and armored farm wagons, which were mounted with small howitzer-type cannons, and they easily broke through enemy lines. Pretty genius, if you ask me. Another of Žižka's genius tactics was lining the bottom of a pond beside his forces with women's clothes, which resulted in the enemy cavalry's horses being trapped in their clothing. This made it possible for him to defeat 30,000 strong army of crusaders. Jan Žižka died on October 11, 1424. Unfortunately, it's sad. He was succeeded by Prokop the Great. Under Prokop, the Hussites continued to score victories another 10 years until they were divided by internal rivalries. The Utraquists defeated the Taborites at the Battle of Limpany in 1434. In 1436, the moderate Hussites negotiated with the Catholics, thus granting the Hussites religious freedom and reduced the power of the Catholic Church in Bohemia. The Luxembourg dynasty ended in 1437, and disputes over succession followed. In 1526, the Habsburg Archduke Ferdinand II of Austria was elected as King of Bohemia. Bohemia became a part of the Habsburg Empire. In 1618, an angry mob of Bohemian Protestants threw 3 Catholic officials out the window in the demonstration of Prague. It sparked the 30 Years' War and revolt against the Habsburgs. Bohemian rebels faced Ferdinand II's forces at White Mountain, hoping that Catholics wouldn't attack since it was winter. But the Catholics defeated the rebels and quickly took control of Prague. Ferdinand II gained complete control over Bohemia. He executed many Protestant noblemen or driven them to exile. Bohemia lost its status as a kingdom and was subjected to absolutist rule of the Habsburgs. In the 1700s, the Czechs launched a campaign for the restoration of historic rights of the kingdom, where the Czech language was to replace the German language as the language of the administration. During the revolutions of 1848, Czech nationalists called for autonomy from the Habsburgs, but the revolutionaries were defeated. The Czechs continued to agitate for autonomy within the Austro-Hungarian Empire. At the end of World War I, the Czechs and another group, who also opposed the Habsburgs, the Slovaks, joined together in 1918 and founded the Republic of Czechoslovakia. Bohemia became the westernmost province of the country. The presence of Germans in western Bohemia gave Nazi Germany a reason to occupy Czechoslovakia. The Munich Agreement in 1938 made Bohemia and other Czechoslovakian territories German protectorates until Czechoslovakia was restored by the Allies in 1945. A vast majority of Germans were expelled from Czechoslovakia. On February 25, 1948, communists took over Czechoslovakia and cast the country into 40 years of dictatorship. In 1949, Bohemia ceased to be an administrative unit in the country, and the country was divided into districts. Pope John Paul II canonized Agnes of Bohemia in 1989 as the first saint in Central Europe. Czechoslovakia was dissolved in 1993 and Bohemia became a part of the Czech Republic. Thank you for watching, everyone.